time this out for you as we work our way through the day. We can see the thunderstorms moving through the area around dinner time. Not the best time, right? But it's never the best time when we're talking about thunderstorms. As we can see, we have some hail. It will be large. Some of this will be about 2 inches in diameter, possibly maybe even over that before it's all said and done. We will have rounds of thunderstorms, just like we've had this past weekend as well. That's going to be the name of the game. So when you think that you're done with the thunderstorms, not going to be the case. Another round will move through the area, and some of these could move through overnight as well. As we go into your Friday morning, still working with the same thing. Let's head over towards Oklahoma City, where we're looking at more of the activity coming as we go into the afternoon, more to the south of Oklahoma City. But remember, this is a model, so that could jog a little bit further off to the north as well. So just keep that in mind. That's the first round. We'll have another round coming through overnight early into your tomorrow morning as well. And by the afternoon, still few isolated showers and thunderstorms lurking across the area. So the main concerns will be the large hail and also some damaging wind gusts, but cannot rule out the possibility for some isolated tornadoes to spin up as well, as we will have some of those supercells out there. So we head to Amarillo, and this is where we're going to be dealing with those thunderstorms really ramping up. As we go through the morning hours, we can see some of that, but the bulk of the activity as we really start to get that day rocking and rolling, we'll start to see that all the way back down off towards Lubbock. Again, around 6 o'clock this evening, that's going to be the scenario. And then as we head into your Friday, we can see a few more isolated showers and thunderstorms in the forecast as well. It is going to put down, again, the severe thunderstorms. Jordan, we've been talking about the fact that we have lots of flooding concerns out there. And boy, we had that on Tuesday as well.
Yeah, I mean, we had a scary...
If you're going to hit the beach, oh yeah, make sure you keep that eye to the sky, because it is going to be a hot one, and we have some thunderstorms in the forecast, of course, as well. Let's talk about that humidity, though, because I've met not one person that actually can say, Lynette, you know what? I love humidity. Yeah, no, we're looking at the dew points, and these are the measure of the moisture in the atmosphere. When we're in the 70s and the 80s, that is a very moist atmosphere out there. I use that word. I know so many people hate that word moist, but it is what it is. It's moist. It is very saturated. In terms of the high temperatures for today, we're looking at 90s in Corpus Christi, Brownsville, 96 degrees. Now, remember, these are your actual temperatures in Tampa, coming in about 96 degrees. But look what happens once we factor in that humidity. Yeah, it's starting to feel more like 109 in Corpus Christi and 112 degrees in Brownsville. So it just makes it much more uncomfortable. And then on top of that, we're going to be dealing with, again, some power outages back off into Texas. So we're looking at 187,000, a little bit over that. Dallas County tops it in terms of the most outages. And hopefully that power really comes on quickly, because when you're this hot, you definitely don't want that power out. This is what we have in Corpus Christi. Look at the temperatures and the heat index, I should say more accurately, headed to the upper 109 area. As we look at what's going on with the water temperatures, it is hot. We're talking about bath water. We'll be back.
Right,
Definitely.
Obviously, as they can get back online, but it's certainly not a sure thing with the kind of heat and humidity we got building back in Texas.
Yeah, and another thing that we have to watch, again, more flooding concerns.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
Every one of these is producing heavy rain,
Exactly. So let's talk about that as we go through time. We've been dealing with it, but let's recap over the past 72 hours. Oh, yeah, we have had that rain. We've had flooding. The rain has been heavy with those thunderstorms in Texas, up towards the Midwest as well. So as we go in through your tomorrow morning, we're going to be dealing with flash flooding, unfortunately. So you can see all the areas here shaded in the green coloring. Of course, where you're seeing the darker green, it is more likely that we will see that flash flooding from Kansas City to Wichita, Oklahoma City, Dallas, of course. Unfortunately, you're back in the Shreveport. We're looking at this around San Antonio as well. And then as we go into your Friday morning into Saturday morning, so it just continues. And at this point, it doesn't even take a whole lot of rain, a lot of moisture really to cause this flooding, because we are so saturated. And Dallas, of course, you're still in it as we go into your Saturday morning as well, into your Friday morning. We're seeing this around Memphis now as it kind of moves on off towards the east. Speaking of moving to the east, let's put this into motion, and you'll see this rain continuing to the east as we head in through the afternoon hours. We'll see this around Shreveport. We're looking Oklahoma City. Make sure you do have the rain gear. We're going to be dealing with this there as well. And not only are we going to be dealing with the rain, but again, we're talking about thunderstorms, the potential for some strong to severe thunderstorms on tap as we go through the overnight. That will continue into your tomorrow morning as well. I know, no break, right? Kansas City, you'll be in on this. We see this again again, Dallas, Little Rock, Springfield, as we head into your Friday evening. St. Louis, you'll even start to get in on some of that action before it's all said and done. So rain still to come right through your tomorrow. Yeah, we don't necessarily want to see those pockets of 3 to 5, but we can see that in some areas, but not even the 2 to 3 inches that we could see. Again, Oklahoma City, Dallas, the same suspects, right? Usual suspects that we're dealing with this. But as we continue through time, again, we will continue to add it up. We're going to add up to the foot that we're seeing in a lot of spots. Back to America's Morning headquarters, and if you're going to be doing some traveling across the Northeast for today, yeah, I suggest that you might want to call ahead. We do see a cluster of some shower activity, some heavy rain coming in across this area, although not a whole lot of activity in terms of the airport delays, but I do believe that that is going to change as the day goes on. Reason being, well, we are dealing with, again, this big cluster of some heavy rain coming in across the area at this point. That's going to be the scenario. So around Springfield, Hartford, we're seeing this, Providence, Boston. Make sure you, again, get to the airport a little bit early or later. Again, if you don't have to go in and wait in the airport, that's going to be some good news for you. Let's go ahead and time this out, because as we go in through your 9 o'clock time frame, still plenty of rain coming back off towards Franklin. We're seeing this around Bridgewater as well. So the interstate's not going to be the best place to be either if you're going to be doing some traveling out there. As we head into Friday morning, looks like it'll be a little bit drier, but this is what we're working with right now around Dodge City and down off towards the south. Yeah, got my eye here around Wichita Falls. Plenty of severe thunderstorm warnings going on across that area. So damaging gusty wind, also some hail with this. If you're going to be driving along 35, 27, 20, again, if you're in Texas, Oklahoma for today, we will see those thunderstorms this morning. We will see those thunderstorms this afternoon as well. Ponding on the roadways will be possible. So again, if you can maybe go before the thunderstorms get here or maybe after the thunderstorms, Jordan, that is going to be your best bet.
Well, if we look at this last week, hail was the name.
A way to get those alerts for sure, those warnings. Let's get you out the door in the north, giving us a break. And because of this, yeah, we're going to be dealing with all this moisture as we go into the weekend as well. So let's talk about what's going on for the weekend. Same suspects, right? Same areas down off towards the south, up across the Midwest. Why are we going to be dealing with this once again? Well, we do have this area of high pressure. When you have high pressure, you get clockwise flow around that. So what that's doing is scooping in more of that moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, and that's going to continue to be steered on off to the north. But if you are under that area of high pressure back off towards the northeast around the mid-Atlantic, you're going to be more on the dry side there. So as we go into your Saturday, your Sunday, we will see multiple rounds of severe weather out there, the rain coming out there as well. And we've been dealing with those downpours, really, with those thunderstorms that come in, really have so much moisture with it. So as we go into Saturday morning into Sunday morning, we can see this back off towards Wichita, making that big U up towards Indianapolis and all the points in between there. And then it spreads a little bit further on off towards the east as we head into your Sunday. And of course, we're starting off Monday pretty soggy as well. So speaking of soggy, Saturday through Sunday, here is that rainfall total. And the worst of it, of course, we're looking at this in the darker green here. So Jackson will be in on this around Montgomery, Mobile as well. And remember, it does not take a whole lot of rain now because we're so saturated. We are so soggy to get that flooding out there. Let's look at some of the pinks and the reds, right? Because once again, back off towards the plains, central southern plains, we do have the potential for some strong and severe thunderstorms as we work our way in through the weekend. And then it starts to extend a little bit further off towards the east. So around the Arklatex as we head towards your Sunday, and then that rain just continues to push on off towards the east as well. Jordan, Jim.
Well, Lynette, we are just
June 1st is on Saturday. That's when it starts. All right, let's get you out the door in the southeast. It's really coming together for those thunderstorms to really fire. All right, so thanks to our virtual view technology, I'm standing in Sundance Square in Fort Worth, where the Metroplex still has more than 125,000 customers without power after storms tore through the area on Tuesday. Now, you're definitely going to need to keep your eye to the sky, stay weather aware for today, as we do have more storms. They're possible through today, but also as we go into the weekend, unfortunately, right? And some of these thunderstorms could produce some serious downpours. So not only are we dealing with damaging gusty wind, the hail, but yeah, we could see some flooding as well. And of course, remember that lightning. When it roars, go indoors. We're still watching those power outages, and we can see that Dallas County still is in the forefront of the power outages in terms of the counties as of now. Let's go ahead and time this out for you, because you have big plans, right? We're getting closer and closer to the weekend, and we can see what's going on as we go through the rest of of today. So yeah, clusters of thunderstorms will continue across Texas. So the worst part about it is that it's not like I can just say, oh yeah, we're going to have this one round coming through, you're done, get out and enjoy it. No, you really have to watch the weather because we will have another round coming in as we go into the afternoon. So 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock will be here. And some of these thunderstorms, again, coming overnight. And that is going to pose a problem as well because, yes, we could see a tornado. Isolated tornado, can't rule that out. Damaging gusty wind and the hail will be the primary threats, but cannot rule out an isolated tornado. Let's head over to Oklahoma City. We'll time this out for you as we go through the morning hours, afternoon. You can see this just to the south of Oklahoma City around Norman at this point. Again, some heavy rain with this, the hail, whatever you're seeing, some of the white out there, that's that hail core that we could be dealing with as we go in through the rest of today. Look at that. Early tomorrow morning, still more thunderstorms. And then tomorrow afternoon, more thunderstorms in the forecast. So you heard me talk about that hail, yeah, and that hail core. Well, yeah, as we go in through tonight, not only are we going to be dealing with 1-inch hail, and that's what you need for severe thunderstorms, but no, we can do you one better. We could see it 2 inches or greater. So we're looking at hen's egg size hail in some spots. If you get that 2-inch hail and then up from there, yeah, we could see possibly softball, golf ball size. Yeah, the hail will be coming, and this is when you're going to want to have a garage, a carport, anything to protect that vehicle because that is going to cause some damage. As we go into 6 o'clock this evening, just to the south of Amarillo, we'll start to see those thunderstorms fire back off towards Texas as well. This is going to be the scenario. Austin will see this. We're going to see this around Waco, Killeen. As we go through the rest of the evening time frame, there's some of the white dots there as well. And then we'll have another round, Jordan, as we work our way early in tomorrow morning around Waco, around Killeen, around Temple.
Well, Lynette, check this out. We had a scary
beach. That sounds good, right? But it's going to be hot there, and the water may not be as cool as you want it to be. I'll show you that in a matter of moments. But let's talk about these dew points. The measure of the moisture in the atmosphere, the air that you wear. Boy, are we wearing it in Houston and Corpus Christi, New Orleans, Jackson. Whew, it's going to be rough out there. Look at today's highs, numbers in the 90s and the 80s, pretty much across the board. But we also do have that heat index. So the fact that I just talked about the dew points, the relative humidity, yeah, it's going to feel that much hotter out there. We're going to feel more like 109 in Corpus Christi. It's going to feel more like 112 in Brownsville. And unfortunately, we do have the power out in Texas. Not a good thing at all. We need that AC cranking, and we can see we're looking at about 182,000 customers without it. And Dallas County, once again, you are the highest county at this point. Now, let's talk about as we go throughout the day, hour by hour in Corpus Christi, we were going to continue to watch the heat index go up, and it's going to be a very hot one. So we're going to be watching for extreme caution as you're out and about. So even if you're going to be out and about at the beach trying to cool things off, you need to seek shade as much as possible. And also just know, FYI, if you're thinking, oh, I'm going to get refreshed from this water, not so much, because that water temperature in the upper 80s, look at that, 91 off of Miami. Whew, that's pretty miserable, at least if you ask me. I don't necessarily like the bath water. Some of you might like that. Also, watch out for some rip currents for today because we definitely do have them. Jordan.
All right, well, time now for
They start small and they become very, very large in time. But something we have to watch out for, especially now that the heat and humidity is back.
Yeah, and it's been amazing to me how day after day, how quickly the atmosphere keeps reloading.
Oh my gosh, yes.
You know, like this has been weeks now.
Recovers pretty quick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, let's watch out for the flooding too, Jim. We have lots of moisture out there that we're going to be watching as we go through the next several days. But let's look over the past 72 hours because, boy, have we had flooding back off towards Texas. Lots of rain, even up towards the Midwest. So that's going to be the name of the game as we go through the next several days. Not going to stop that anytime soon, right? Because we're not going to stop the severe thunderstorm threat. And we don't have to have severe thunderstorms, just heavy rain with some of those thunderstorms. The flash flooding goes right through your tomorrow morning. We can see this for Kansas City on down off towards Houston, Waco, Shreveport. You're in on this as well. This flood threat will continue and start to spread a little bit further on off towards the east. So Friday morning into your Saturday morning, Memphis, you start to get in on this as well. Jackson, you will be under the flash flooding potential too. Let's go ahead and time this out as we continue through the rest of today. We start to see more green on the map, right? Oklahoma City, Kansas City, Shreveport. As we go in through the evening, the same areas. So again, just over and over again, we will see more rain. But remember, at this point, when we're talking about the flooding, it doesn't even take a whole lot to get to that flash flooding potential. Look on Friday, still some of the same suspects, if you will. Oklahoma City, more of the same, Kansas City, and then by your Friday afternoon, evening, it advances more on off towards the east. So Little Rocky will be under that. We can see a few pockets of the 3 to 5 still to come right through your tomorrow in some spots. But look at some of the darker green as well. Same areas, Dallas, Waco, more of that rain coming in across the area, unfortunately. And these areas with the green arrows going up, none of these areas need any more rain. Dallas, you are under this. Houston, we're looking at this around Lufkin, Shreveport, and also Little Rock. We'll be right back. Welcome back to America's Morning Headquarters. And if you're going to be doing some traveling for today, you may run into some problems in some spots. I'll show you all about it in just a matter of moments. But you're looking at the airport delays, right? We have greens on the map. I would suggest that you do call ahead if you're headed to New England, because this is what you're dealing with. And this is happening right now. Some heavy rain really coming down. We're seeing this around Springfield. We're looking at this around Boston as well. That's going to be the scenario as we go through the rest of this morning. As we go into 11 o'clock, the heaviest rain starts to work its way on offshore a little bit more, but still we're left with some light rain lingering, and really we won't be out of the woods until maybe around this evening, late afternoon hours, about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, around dinner time. Things should be improving. Now, speaking of improving, not so much across the plains here. So we do have severe thunderstorm warnings. Look at this around Texas at this point, and also around Oklahoma. So we have this severe thunderstorm warning, and this goes until 6:45. This is radar indicated at this point, and this will continue to work its way on off towards the east. We do have that bowing effect, so damaging gusty wind. We have in excess of about 60 miles an hour, and we also do have some hail, about an inch being reported at this point. More of the same as we look over towards Woods. That's the county there. The severe thunderstorm warning will continue to work its way on off towards the north and east. Jordan, let's talk about some hail.
Well, yeah, speaking of big storms.
Time soon, we're going to continue to work on this and watch this. Mother Nature has a vengeance out, not giving it up quite yet, and we can see as we go through the weekend. The only saving grace I will say when I look at this map is the fact that the heaviest rain down off towards the south is not back off into Texas. It looks like it's shifting a little bit further off towards the east. So that's some good news. Let's hope that this comes to fruition as we go into the weekend. Now, high pressure in control. You can see this across the mid-Atlantic, and this is what's happening. The reason why we're seeing so much moisture down off towards the south and being funneled up across the plains, across the Midwest. Well, you have clockwise flow around that high pressure, and it will continue to pull in that moisture off to the north there. So as we work our way into your Saturday, your Sunday, we will have multiple disturbances that enter the central U.S. Again, we've been dealing with it across the plains, the central plains, the southern plains. And as we go in through this weekend, again, Saturday into Sunday, look what we have. Wichita, San Angelo. We look at this as it swoops up. Mobile, you'll be in on this. Indianapolis, Louisville. So it goes through the Tennessee Valley, goes through the Ohio Valley as well. In terms of the Saturday and Sunday time frame with the totals, we could see about maybe 1 to 2. That's where you're looking at the darker greens there. But again, at this point, it's not going to take a whole lot of rain to really cause problems for us in terms of flooding. Look at the severe thunderstorms once again, same spots, right? Again, the plains down off towards the south. This will start to work its way on off towards the east a little bit more as we head towards your Saturday and Sunday. But again, we do have the possibility for some severe thunderstorms right in through this weekend. Jordan, Jim.
Well, we are just too.
Basically, what you're saying is that we cannot let our guard down once again for today, even as we work our way into the weekend. So I want to bring you into our virtual view and our technology here. I'm standing in Sundance Square in Fort Worth, Texas, and where the Metroplex still has more than 120,000 customers without power after severe thunderstorms tore through the area on Tuesday. Now, you're going to need to stay weather aware, keep your eye to the sky, because we do have more showers and thunderstorms on tap for today and right through the weekend. And of course, some of these could turn severe. So we're talking about those downpours, those damaging gusty winds, also the hail out there. And again, can't rule out a tornado, isolated tornado, in fact. Let's talk about what's been going on in Texas. Yes, you know, you have not been living under a rock. We've been dealing with those power outages, and we still have them out there as well. And, you know, you want the people to get up there in those bucket trucks, but we have more severe weather on the way. So we have to hold out for that in some spots, especially as we work our way through the rest of this morning into the afternoon. We'll see another round of thunderstorms coming through the area as well. Again, we're looking at this around Dallas. This is going to be the name of the game around Fort Worth. You can see as we go into the afternoon, 2 o'clock, this will be that second round that comes through. You could see some of that white there, right? So when you heard me talk about the hail, that's where the hail is. That hail core will be coming through the area as well. So as we go into your tomorrow morning, we're not out of the woods yet. I wish I could say that we are, but we're not. This is what we have as we go early in the morning, late night, early in the morning. So again, you heard us talk about the threat for possibly an isolated tornado. Tornadoes at night, 2 times more deadly. So we have to watch out for that. You have to find a way to get those warnings out there. As we work our way into 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, still more of the same around Oklahoma City. Waves, rounds of thunderstorms coming through the area. And with those thunderstorms, again, putting down a lot of rain. So we also have to watch out for flash flooding. Let's go back and talk about the hail, because the hail, for severe thunderstorm, you need about 1 inch of hail, but we could see 2 inches or greater as we go through the rest of today, again, in portions of Texas. So keep that in mind. Lubbock, you are going to be under that. We could see softball-size hail before it's all said and done today, baseball-size hail as well. And this is what it looks like around 6 o'clock to the south of Amarillo this evening. There it is right there. So you're in Lubbock, and you can see that white area. That is the hail that I'm talking about that we could definitely be watching. Again, rounds of rain will continue to move in. And, Jordan, speaking of rounds of rain, this is the reason why you actually had to have this rescue that we saw on Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, look at...
As we are going to be quite hot. Yeah, let's do it. It's going to be hot there, though, and humid. That's the thing that makes it the worst, right? And then you add in the fact that the water is not going to be as cold as maybe you might like it. I'll show you that in a matter of moments. But let's talk about those dew points, the measure of the moisture in the atmosphere. When you're talking about dew points in the 70s, look at that Brownsville, close to 80. That is just a tropical. That's what we have there. And then you factor in the fact that we do have that. We do have temperatures today in Brownsville, 96 degrees. Then, of course, we're going to feel like we're in the triple digits before it's all said and done. There you go. Feels more like 112. It feels like close to 110 in Corpus Christi, and it's going to feel like 97 in Tampa, close to 100 degrees. And you don't need to be this hot, especially when we're talking about power outages, and that's exactly what we have around Texas. So we're going to watch this power outage tracker. Hopefully it will start to improve a bit, but as of now, a lot of people without power, and the heat index is going to continue to rise as we go throughout the day. So by 4 o'clock, of course, the hottest part of the day, we're going to feel close to 110 degrees out there. So you're thinking like, okay, Lynette, I'll be fine. I'm just going to go take a dip in the ocean. Yeah, but be careful about that, because just know Gulf of Mexico, oh yeah, the water is coming in the upper 80s. We can see this in some spots. Look at the tip of Miami coming in about 91 for water temperature. So if you ask me, I think it's bath water, a little bit too warm, but all in all, this is what you're going to get. So if you are going to take that deep dive, just know that we are going to be watching for some rip currents as well. So we're looking at this around Florida on the Gulf Coast side here, and we're looking at moderate. And even when we're seeing the low, you still definitely need to make sure you swim near a lifeguard. Jordan?
Well, let's get everybody...
Because of the air mass that we have versus down toward Waco. But we'll see.
Yeah.
The threat's there. We got to watch it.
Right. And we also, this is the type of year where we had the heavy rain. We don't necessarily want the heavy rain, but we don't want it to shut off either, because down south, we could get a drought back just like that.
That's exactly right.
Exactly.
Very, very hot in South Texas.
Yes. So we'll watch that. We're going to continue to watch what's going on for your today and also the past 3 days, right? Look at this. We had plenty of flood reports, heavy rain down off towards the south in Texas, up towards the Midwest as well. So again, this is something that we do have to watch. Again, we never want all the rain at once, right? We've been dealing with plenty of rain across this area, so we do have flash flooding potential. Kansas City down off towards Houston, San Antonio. But again, we don't want it to completely cut off as well, because we are definitely going to be dealing with some problematic issues with that too. In terms of timing this out for you, as we go through the rest of today, you start to see that green grow, right? This is what we have as we go into 3 o'clock. Oklahoma City still in on this. Some of the same suspects, the same area is going to be getting in on this as we go in through the evening time frame as well. So we have Oklahoma City, we have Dallas, we have Houston, San Angelo as well. And as we head into your Friday, it starts to shift a little bit further off towards the east, but not before going over the same areas once again. As we go in through your Friday in the evening time frame, Springfield, Little Rock, Shreveport, you'll get in on this as it bears down on Nashville. So it will slowly but surely start to move on off towards the east, but rain still to come. We're looking about 2 to 3 inches in the dark coloring, and we can see about 1 to 2 and a lot of other spots there. But the bottom line is this: as we look at some of those green arrows, they're going up. That means that we are definitely above average in terms of the rainfall, and this is why at this point we don't necessarily need it. Jordan?
All right. Well, America's Morning
Headquarters, and let's travel, right? As you're doing so across the Northeast, be careful, because we're not seeing any delays at the airports right now, but we had this big cluster cluster. There it is. We zoom into it of some heavy rain coming in across the area. But look at around Boston. We can see what's going on there. I should say eastern Massachusetts. We're looking at some lightning happening across that area. So yeah, just be aware. We're going to continue with this area of low pressure that's bringing plenty of rain to the area. It will be out, especially by the time your Friday kicks off. We're going to be seeing lots of sunshine. But for today, if you're going to be doing some of that traveling, still plenty of heavy rain coming in here as we head towards the 9 o'clock time frame. As we go into 1 o'clock, it starts to lessen a bit as the bulk of the heavy rain really starts to push on off to the north and east, but looking pretty good as we go in through the afternoon evening time frame, and especially as we head towards your tomorrow. Let's head down off towards the south where we do have severe thunderstorm warning there. Look at this. This encompasses Wichita Falls at this point. This is for the counties of Clay, Cotton, and Wichita. This goes until about 7:45. Radar indicated heavy rain, damaging gusty winds with this, and also we've been watching some hail out there as well. So that's going to be the scenario. If you're going to be traveling along 135, around 35, this cluster will continue to work its way on off towards the east. Jim, Jordan.
All right.
Weekend. So we're just not shutting it off quite yet. We still have more rain on the way. Now, again, I want to start with the glass half full. And the good news is that hopefully this comes to fruition as we go into the weekend. At least the heaviest rain will start to push out of Texas. With that said, we're still going to be dealing with some heavier rain down off towards the south. Again, just moving off towards the east a little bit more. Now, as we head towards the weekend on your Saturday, we can see this big area of high pressure. So we will be drying out the areas that we're seeing the wet stuff this morning across New England. Yes, you're going to be much drier. But with this, look at this. So you have high pressure, clockwise flow. This will continue to scoop in plenty of moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. So the same areas across the plains will be dealing with lots of moisture coming in. On your Sunday, we will be dealing with multiple disturbances coming through. We have to watch out for flash flooding, of course, once again as we go into your Saturday and also your Sunday. So Wichita, we have Dallas again, unfortunately, Texarkana. Then we see that swoop Houston up towards St. Louis, Louisville, Nashville, Indianapolis as well. So the Ohio Valley, we're going to be seeing this around the Tennessee Valley as well. As we look at that forecast in terms of the rain for your Saturday and Sunday, 1 to 2 inches in the darker green there. Most of us will see up to about an inch of rain. And with that, that's not going to hurt us too much. We just don't want to get past that. Again, we actually want to keep the rain going so we don't get back into that drought down off towards the south. Now, let's talk about the severe weather that we could see on your Saturday. Once again, back off towards the plains there, and then we'll start to see more of that rain inching its way on off towards the east by your Sunday. So Detroit, Pittsburgh, you'll be in on that rain coming in across the area as well, and it will continue to slide further on off towards the east. Jordan, Jim?
Well, we are just